Welcome back to JCR Garage. This time, well, we're doing something new. There is a new project. It is right behind my head once again. We have done one thing today that is productive. That is inside the Granada. Right there you can see I've changed out the seats. I got Taunus coupe seats. For once I can actually tilt them forwards and get passengers in the back. These are not pretty. I mean, you can clearly see that this side's really worn, but the passenger side is a lot better. Now, yeah, it doesn't really look good, but whatever. For once, I can actually do that and get passengers in the back of my car. Now, yes, I know, it doesn't have headrests, but I didn't like them anyway. And these, they are low enough that you can't really see them above the window, and I like that in a car. I don't know why, it's just a thing. I like having the seats go underneath the door. But let's get back to the new project. For once, I am actually gonna have to figure out how to use MegaSquirt ECU. Because a friend of mine, the same one who owns that Toyota Land Cruiser that lost its, yeah, you can see the picture here. The one that lost its ball joint. He wanted, well, he has an affinity for old Volvos. He had a Volvo 945 wagon, dark red one, that I ended up jumping and smashing the oil pan and bending the cross member, which I fixed before next weekend, but yeah. And now he wanted something else. This one, it is old. Older than Granada, actually, by 2 years. It's a 1975 Volvo 242. Yep. 1975 Volvo 242. Looks like shit. Has a lot of rust. Well, visible rust. There's not a lot underneath. We've had that checked out. Inside, Momo bucket seats, 4-point harness, which we removed the shoulder straps because we reinstalled the back seat. Tiny little Luisi steering wheel, way too little to get that approved. And well, you could probably tell by all that there's something going on here. And there is. Well, of course, this is just a regular old Volvo 2.3 engine. Just regular straightforward, you got in everything. This one is from a 1992 940. This, all of the things I'm about to say, I know from either looking at it or a forum post that was made in 2011. From what I know, it's a 940 engine from, well, it's from 940. It is a B230FB, which means it is, I think it was the most powerful naturally aspirated engine you got in Volvos. Those Volvos, at least. It is a T3 T4 turbo, 3-inch exhaust, 3-inch boost tubes, silicone joiners on all of them. The cam and head is on the FB. It is a 531 head with a VX3 cam and an adjustable cam timing gear. Injectors, those are Siemens Deka 750cc injectors. From what I've heard, it's the same one that's in an SVT Lightning Ford pickup. So the injectors are big enough for 2.3 tiny little engine. One thing I've been wondering is that right there. That is a stock fuel pressure regulator. Runs up to 3 bar, which is in PSI, yep, right about here. And I can't see how that is good enough. I mean, I would want to have at least something that's adjustable. One of the issues with it is this fan. It is a Volvo 2-speed fan with a relay over there, and it keeps blowing out fuses. Now I had the spark plugs out of this thing. I know it's running seriously rich. And I drove it up here, which means I also know that it's got enough power once the turbo kicks in. The diff, of course, it's welded. Now, in this Momo bucket, we'll shut the door. We have, of course, the mandatory gauges: oil pressure, water temp, boost, and AFR. That is a bit boogered, because it tells us, well, sometimes it tells us it's running about 14.7, 14.5 on idle. It has apparently said it runs 17 under load in fourth, and it keeps cutting out and going back to heating up the sensor. As you can tell right now it's blinking 7.4, and it does that a lot, and sometimes just shows 22, and yeah, it's a bit buggered. Transmission, this is the stock Volvo shifter on a Getrags 262 Trans 5-speed. Of course, there's a fuel pump switch, and the clutch, stiff as it is a 6-puck center clutch. And I'm thinking from driving this thing, there is absolutely no in between on this clutch. It is on or off. So I'm thinking whoever put it in gave it a single mass flywheel, because there's no damping. If there is any, there's little, but I don't think this is a dual mass flywheel in this thing. You can see now it's showing 22. But let's turn on the fuel pump. Run the fuel pump for a bit. Let that heat up. Now it says 22. Of course, there is a lot more air than there is fuel. So, start it. See it running everywhere from, now it's about 15 on idle, 15, 16. This is dangerously high. This is dangerously high. This is light throttle. Goes down, but it is way too rich on idle and part throttle. You can see this is, yeah, that is way too lean. But yeah, this car definitely needs some adjustment, and it has up underneath there a MegaSquirt 1 V3 with an MS2 processor. That I need to get a cable for. That's a DB9 cable, and I need to get that and plug it into my computer. Because lately, here the other day, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a cable, connect that to my computer, and try to remap it, because I don't really know about anyone close by that could do that. So I went on Google and I checked out and figured out that I could just download the tuning software for that MS1 or MegaSquirt in general. You can just go online and download the tuning software. Now, of course, there are different maps. You can also download those for whatever car you or engine you have that connected to, which is what I'm going to be starting to look at right about now. Because I need one for a Volvo B230 with a few mods and all that, and make it run richer than it is, at least on part throttle. Because AFR value of 20, that is way too lean for an engine to be running nicely. Because, I mean, on idle 14.7 is fine, but on throttle you kind of want it to be laying around 12.5, and this is obviously not doing that. So that is what we're going to be tuning for once I get a cable, and I'm going to try plug it in and let it run and see how it does, basically just sitting here revving first to try to figure out the software, because I haven't really gotten that far into it yet that I know how it works. But that is what we're going to be doing. So let's have a look at the program. Alright, so yeah, we'll look at this. And yes, I know I have a ton of crap on my desktop. This is the computer I use for everything. Vinvicky video, already watching it. Yeah, like I said, I downloaded the software, which is Tuning Studio MS. I'm not sure you can actually read everything here, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, Tuning Studio MS setup. Open that, and you get this software, which is Tuner Studio MS for MegaSquirt. Of course, you get this up, which is EFI Analytics Tuner Studio MS. Just waiting for this to pop open. There you go. Now, of course, I just went through here without having anything connected, and you just press create new project, open last project. I've already made one. It's 242B230 FBT, T for turbo. Of course, this is Tuner Studio 3.0. We'll open the product. Of course, I'm offline, and this is the desktop you get. It's engine RPM, coolant temp, pulse width, duty cycle, spark advance, air fuel ratio. This is what I want to be watching, as well as the RPM. Manifold air temp and engine map. I don't know if it has a manifold air temp sensor, but I know it has a map. It's coolant temp. Maybe. I don't really know if it has coolant temp connected up to the MegaSquirt, but we'll see. And of course, through here you can check out a lot of things. There is diagnostics and high-speed loggers, fuel settings. You have fuel table selection, fuel table, EGO control settings, lambda AFR settings, Excel diesel mode, acceleration wizard, RPM based Excel, Spark. You have Spark settings, Spark table, and everything. NOx system, idle advance, dwell settings, and startup, cranking settings, priming pulse width, afterstart enrichment. That it might need some cranking help because, well, you heard it's not easy to start. And there's advanced features that's, launch control, water injection, nitrous, anti-rev, traction control. In tuning, there's VE table and the spark table, which, yeah, VE table, that is fuel table. And there is upgrade. Oh yeah, this is the cheap version, of course. Data logging. Yeah, well, basic load settings. You have rev limiter type, stage injection, coolant related air density, engine constants, and yeah. We have file, we have vehicle projects, load tune, save tune as, work offline, options, data logging, start logging. I might not have to do that. Communications, settings, data rate, enable GPS support, mini terminal, com debug log. Tools, that is update, install firmware, Tuner Studio plugins, calibrate TPS. Yeah, I'll even check if that one's calibrated. Yeah, and there's general help. And all this is something I'm going to have to going through. Of course, you have a lot of other bits down here. We got output 2 off, fan output 4 off, fuel pump off, nitrous water injection off, fan water injection off, output boost controller. Yeah, output 3, data logging, launch on, knocked, NOS tables on, and a few other things. Yeah, can't even see it. I can see now on camera, but you can't really see it. But yeah, it has those down there. You can barely read what they say about now. Yeah. And that is what I'm going to have to be looking at when I get that cable. Because I'm going to have to get that engine a bit better than it is, because, yeah, that's not good. Anyway, that will be it for now. I'll be back later with a new video on this Volvo. And if there's anything you wonder about the car, just let me know down in the comments. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Comment for any reason you would want to. Tell me I'm a schmuck or whatever. It's fine. And, yeah, take care.